Okay, so after much deliberation and testing, what I thought I'd put together a video just to outline the comparison and differences between Doom on the Sony PlayStation and Doom on the Sega Saturn. Now, what's interesting about this comparison is that the version of Doom I've got on the Sega Saturn is the Japanese version, and this is played on a Japanese Sega Saturn. It's running at 60 Hz full screen. The Sony PlayStation version is the PAL version, running on a PAL Sony PlayStation, and you can see it's running at 50 Hz because it's got the borders at the top and the bottom of the screen. But what's interesting in this comparison that I've actually found and I'm actually concluding is the version of the PAL version of Doom does in fact run better than the Japanese version of Doom on the Sega Saturn, and this is a fact. I've got both of them running alongside each other, play tests, so yeah, just wanted to report my findings. The PAL version of Doom is much smoother scrolling left and right. As you can see, it does have, if you can judder to the left and the right and see frame by frame, but if you hold down and just turn, you can see how smooth the turning motion is on the PAL version. Now on the Japanese version, it's quite clear that when you do turn, you can still get that kind of frame rate issue where it looks kind of juddery, not as smooth as the Sony PlayStation version. And again, this is the Japanese version, which is running at 60 Hz against the PAL version, and the PAL version comes up trumps absolutely. It's not. I'm not really gonna compare the visuals here because they are what they are. You know, the Sony PlayStation's visuals are, I think, has a bit of a brighter color palette. The Sega Saturn version does run a bit of a darker kind of gamma or color depth, but that aside, it's really about the gameplay, to be honest. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just play through the first level of each game, just so you can see it running and how smooth it does actually run. So I'm going to try and just turn that light off a moment. So I'm going to do a quick playthrough of the Sony PlayStation version here, and look how smooth it just moves and controls really nicely. And actually I also have found in the sound department as well, the Sony PlayStation version does have a much better sound, especially when you fire the gun. It's much thicker, it's much deeper sound, it's much richer sound as well, and you can just see how beautiful and smooth this game runs. So it's really interesting. Yeah, I really wanted to. I think I had some people also ask me to do a comparison of the two versions as well. So I went out and bought a copy of the PAL version of Doom because I was playing the Saturn version, and it's notorious that it's got a really bad frame rate. So this was a kind of experimentation to find out which version, PAL against NTSC, was actually the best. So you can see the PAL version here running very nice, very smoothly. Oh. I just have to get used to the controls because they are very different. And I do think the PlayStation version also has. I mean, with the I said I wasn't going to compare the colours, the visuals, but the Sony PlayStation, I was just watching some in the different levels. The colour palette does. Oh, I missed it. The colour palette does look significantly different than the Sega Saturn version. So whether you, I keep missing that door. Whether you prefer the Sega Saturn version or the PlayStation version visually, it's up to you. But in the gameplay department, it's the Sony PlayStation version wins hands down. So that's the PlayStation version. Let's switch over now to the Japanese Saturn. I'm going to play through the first level, hopefully. I'm going to just stand the camera up here. I'm sure you can see that very well, actually. Let's get that out of the way. Pitch it up a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, that'll do. Let's turn the sound off that Saturn, PlayStation. Do you know what? Hold on a moment. Let me just draw that across there. You can probably get a better picture. So this is level 1 on the Japanese Saturn version, and as to compare, you can really tell the difference with the frame rate drop on the Saturn version. It's very, very juddery here. And even though I have been playing the Saturn version through, when you do play them side by side and back to back, you can really see how apparent the frame rate issue on the Saturn is. So it's a game I wanted to get, and because of the, let's turn the sound up on that. You can't really hear the gun sound on this version very well. Because of the frame rate issue, I did want to kind of see it for myself and see what all the fuss was about. So after playing them both now, I can wholeheartedly report that the Sony PlayStation version, even the PAL version, is much better to play than the Japanese version. Oh, haven't gone through that door yet. So yeah, that's really my comparison. That's the Sony PlayStation version of Doom versus the Sega Saturn version of Doom. So I hope you found it interesting, and yeah, I can confirm the PlayStation version does run a lot better, if I can open that door. So thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.